If you're watching in game, you've already bought the ticket, but make sure to check out the stream. If you're watching on stream, likewise, make sure to check out the ticket. We've got Album Sheet coming off a big win. They just took out, well, they didn't take out, they just got the win against Empire, who definitely needed it. Looking for that 4th spot. Album Sheet, though, still looking to contend with the big boys. They're going up against xGame here. Should be a fight to the death in this best of one. I'm Helium. Joining me again, it's going to be Hippie. How are you?
I'm pumped, man, after the really tight play we saw from Album Sheet last game. And the fact that, in general, Starladder is always kind of the breeding ground for tomorrow's best teams. At least that's how I've seen it for quite a while. Like, these players, they play on these kind of what we'd call Tier 2 teams for a while, and then they develop. The team either gets, like, fantastic, they knock themselves up a notch, or the really good players join, like, FNG, moving to Na'Vi, off of Power Rangers. And so anytime you're watching...
Why?
It is sad. It is really sad.
I love FNG
but at the
and
same
Power
time,
Rangers.
when you're watching like any of these guys and you think, oh, these aren't big names, these are the big names of tomorrow in Starladder. They play constantly, they play each other all the time, and they play these, like, if they're in Division 1 of Starladder, they're playing, these strong teams, that means they can contend. As we just saw with Album Sheet. So Album Sheet versus xGame, dude, I'm fired up. This is going to be like TI5 finals right here. That's what I'm saying, basically.
TI5, yes, good. Not like TI4 finals.
My prediction is xGame versus Album Sheet TI5. That's going to be it. Grand finals. Yep. Calling it right now.
Be a big day for Kazakhstan. Right now, xGame, they're 2-9, so they're not doing so great. Album Sheet 3-6, make that 4-6. Who's in 4th place right now? It's actually Team Secret with only 8 games played, 7-1. So gonna be pretty hard to catch up to 7-1. But we're also looking at teams that are sitting at 8-5, 8-4. It's realistic. If Album Sheet starts winning, I mean, they can get there. They can still contest. The only ones that look really out of it are maybe Cleve and, unfortunately, xGame. But that doesn't mean they don't want to win right now. They maybe want to slow the roll of Album Sheets. They draft up that Centaur first. Album Sheet gonna go right back with that Skywrath here.
I love that Centaur is back into like first pick status right now, because that hero is honestly just so much fun to watch. I mean, I know he was in the meta, he was kind of 2nd, 3rd pick maybe, but now that, I mean, people are really considering him a little bit above, even above Tidehunter, who has kind of fallen off a little bit. I feel like I haven't seen a Tide in a long time, which is weird to me because Ravage is godlike.
It is quite good.
Pat Rider, Skywrath.
Well, in this sort of European CIS scene, it's a lot of Batrider offlanes and a lot of Centaur offlanes. Sometimes even both on the same team in the same offlane. That was strange, but yeah, maybe the reason why we don't see Tide. I know I was just casting Sivo the other night, and we got to see Tidehunter a couple times, but that might be dipping into the Tier 3 chalice of teams that are maybe still picking it up. But I don't know. Every scene's a little bit different. It was also at a North American tournament, so I don't know.
Yeah,
the Green Machine is still quite good.
He's still a strong hero. Oh god, I want to turn him into a rock in. I
saw that thread, dude. Like, Earth Spirit, can we just remove this hero? And then someone was like, no, we totally. You can just turn Tide into a rock, kick him in, and then he can I don't know.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand. You're not going. You got to go one level deeper. You have to put Nakes in the Tide.
Oh yeah,
and then rock him and kick him in.
I don't know. Earth Spirit
that apparently works on enemies, by the way. I didn't realize that until I saw a video of it. But
I haven't looked into any of the test client videos for 6.82, but it's we're in for a doozy, I think, when that drops. Earth Spirit, not so much. The hero is, I think, still a long way off from Captain's Mode potential.
Yeah,
but so. Legion and Terrorblade have been added.
Yeah. I'm pretty pumped for
though.
Legion.
Broodmother got a lot of changes, actually, so
yeah.
Again, thinking she might be a little OP.
I want new Phantom Lancer. That dude looks like an early game fighting machine.
It's like Zealot Rush, man.
Dude, Zealot legs. Dude,
I played Protoss, and now I have to play PL.
I'm gonna stop talking because I'm gonna go into like potential builds for that dude, and then I'm really excited. Let's leave it at that. We do have a Marana was the 2nd pickup for xGame. Get themselves just a little bit of kind of. I mean, I'd say Marana is one of the most stable picks in the game in basically any meta because she can go anywhere, do anything. She's the definition of an all-round hero. But then you have,
basically.
Yeah, I mean, you have the Puck ban out, Slark ban out coming from xGame, getting rid of I guess some potential mid going on there. Slark could theoretically go mid. He could also be your safe laner. Naga ban out and Shadow Demon ban out from Album Sheet. Naga ban out. I mean, am I just misremembering? I don't think I've seen a Naga be like super strong for quite a
I
while.
think Mantis likes it, and they'll even
Okay.
take it into the aggressive Shrine lane, and they'll also take it as a support.
Okay.
Support or core, so I think banning it out here is saying, we're banning out a support Naga and a support Shadow Demon, because that sort of falls along the same train of thought as, let's ban out the super late game core, and then let's ban out the support. Like, that
Yeah.
doesn't quite click with me.
Ban out something that works with really well with the Mirana. They could still get the Bane.
Yeah, basically that's
I
what
mean,
it is.
we saw how well the Bane worked last game. And again, I don't think that was really the Bane's fault, to be fair, on the side of Empire. I think there was a little bit too much focus on
Always
it.
blame Bane.
It's always Bane's fault. Visage pickup? That's...
Dro, incoming.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a hero we see a lot of times outside of in a Drow Ranger draft. But at the same time, I don't think he's weak. I don't think he's,
Oh, not at all.
by far not the super strong support he was once.
He's OP.
But he's still got good potential. Yeah, I wouldn't label him OP, but I mean he's certainly not as OP as he was. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean the nerfs were honestly pretty slight, right? Like just Grave Chill mana going up. That was
The
kinda
base
it.
magic resist to 10%.
Yeah, the base magic resistance.
That-
But hey, as
that-
long as you're still in the
that's-
back lines and doing what Visage should do, it's not the worst of things. As
Yeah, but it does make him a lot easier to focus down, and it forces you to dump a couple of extra levels into Gravekeeper's Cloak if you don't want to just be like massively squish, which is a big deal,
Yeah.
especially in this kind of fighting blink-oriented lineup you have going on. If you get initiated on as Visage, and there's the Drow Ranger. If you get initiated on with Visage, I mean, yeah, it was pretty obvious once the Visage came out.
Thanks. Don't just say awesome, Helium. What a great call. Didn't see it coming.
Dude, when I said it, when was the last time you saw a Visage and there wasn't also a Drow?
Yeah, it's been a while. It was an obvious call. I'm not intelligent.
No, you're still smarter than I am. Don't worry. Smarter and more handsome and all those things.
I guess.
It's
Visage, also, like you said, in this sort of blinking mid-game fighting, he's not a good blink hero, and honestly, I think that's another reason he's fallen off. Like, why would you ever want to blink on Visage?
I mean,
Now, if your familiars could get blink daggers,
Grave Chill? I don't know.
seems bad.
seems pretty mediocre, dude. As long as like Blink Drow is a thing. Oh yeah, that's just for positioning purposes. Blink Drow, Blink.
Yeah, well, it's good, right? Because their best item is their ultimate, and if you can stay far away, you get a free F-Blade, essentially.
Oh god.
Well, in terms of 40
Please don't
agility.
mention the combination of Blade and Drow because I've had people actually do that, and I just want to just die inside.
It's not terrible, right? I mean, 40
Like-
agility. That's good.
Not that, but yeah, it is.
It's just that the active sucks. The item itself is still decent.
Well,
I
that's
don't
the
know
point though. Like if you're gonna
why
go for
you
something with
wouldn't get a
agility,
butterfly.
you just get butterfly.
which now we'll have Flutter pretty soon, adequately
Yeah,
named
that's
active.
interesting.
Dude, that thing is sick. It's gonna be such a good farming item, right? Like you can just move from lane to jungle so fast when you're not in danger.
Yeah. So the Drow Ranger Silence might be really useful against that Brewmaster. I mean, it comes out
Literally is,
quickly.
yes.
Well, it comes out really quickly, similar to the Skywrath Silence. The travel time will be a problem, but if Drow's the one who's actually getting blinked on, as long as whoever's playing her has fast fingers, which most people do. I mean, half the reason Skywrath is so viable is because he cuts off the Thunderclap initiation
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, he
from that
does.
Brewmaster. But so the Drow can basically do the same thing unless the Brew has a BKB. And BKB on Brew, I mean, sometimes it's an investment you need, but I think it has the potential to be a necessary investment in any given game, but it's never actually a good one because if you're forced to go for it, you know that your hero's potential has been cut seriously already. You know what I mean? Like, you need it to get your job done, but by God, that's 4,000 gold you didn't want to spend. Spectre!
Dire team pick.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the
Prepping for that-
Brewmaster...
prepping
Well,
for that late.
the Brew, the Bat, and the Skywrath give them so much kind of early control. I mean, obviously the Wraith King too, but I think the
Wraith
Brew and the
King-
Bat in particular give them so much like early to mid game potential of just pickoffs and like team fight wins thanks to Brewmaster Ultimate that they can afford to kind of throw the laning phase a little bit because you have a Spectre, and then spend a little bit of time farming her up, getting whatever fighting items you need before you come in. And there's the mean
Oh,
green
speak of
machine.
The, devil. The green devil.
So
Sorry,
is
not
that
joking around.
Do you think that's a support Centaur or a support Mirana?
Why not support Tide?
Could be a support Tide.
I don't know, I always get a lot of
like
flack when
levels
I
of
bring
Tide.
up the idea of a support Tide, but it honestly makes sense, right? Like some armor
not-
reduction and okay slow, and then you can catch up later by ancients that have been stacked for you. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah, I mean you can get away with it. It's just nicer to have the Blink Ravage sooner because it's such a
Yeah.
game changer. Especially I think up against a Brewmaster, you want your
Well,
Tide to be
Stampede
over.
Ravage now. It's good enough.
Yeah, that's true. But I just when you have to deal with Brew Ultimate, you want something equally kind of game shifting to counter it, or at least to kind of interact with it.
10
And that's
seconds
Ravage.
remaining.
I mean, I'm not sure I can think of many ultimates that are more game changing in between like the 10-15 minute mark than Ravage and Primal Split.
I was
It
going to say
probably
Primal
exists,
Split,
but-
but here
Well,
they are,
yeah.
both in the same game.
Yeah.
What else do we got?
That's my point. You want that kind of force on your team if you have to deal with a Primal Split, so they have to at least think about engaging you, you know?
Black Hole, I think, could be put on that list.
I'm not sure because I think Black Hole requires a little bit more setup and shines a
Yeah,
little
it does.
in the later game when not only is it because it trumps the BKBs, but also because people will be kind of positioned a little bit tighter to avoid getting picked off.
Here, Midnight Pulse then. That's an ultimate, right?
It is if you get nags.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we'll see. To introduce the teams, though, as we're going to start things off here. We've got XGame on the Dire. We're going to have Wadafaka playing on the Tidehunter. Equal on the Murano. Reeves will be on that Visage. Mantis playing the Drow Ranger. And Murano? Did we already go over Murano? Who did we miss? Did we miss anybody? I don't think we did. They're all right here.
If you miss someone,
Centaur. There we go.
There you go.
Lettered numbers.
Come on,
I gotta-
S7
what do we got there?
Oh, it's Stallcat.
ST
It's Stallcat.
Stallcat, there you go. Knew we'd figure it out.
All right, and over on the side of Album Sheet, Big Num playing the Wraith King. Submit to his rule. Axmo going to be handling the mid Brewmaster. Off lane, Bat Rider will be taken care of by Vova Payne. Going to have Aloha Dance farming up that Spectre, and Inquisitor will be handling the Skywrath Mage. I love that mask, by the way, the Night Watchers one. It's baller. That's right.
We'll check
I'm
it
talking
out.
to you about cosmetics. We're in
Dude,
trouble.
I love cosmetics. That's what pause is
Twitch
for.
chat.
If like we can't get a game started without a pause, then we're just gonna talk about cosmetics. 'Cause honestly, it's ridiculous. That's me
Look at
being
Spectre
salty.
cosmetics.
Everybody.
I mean, that blade is kind of cool, but at the same time, like, there's so many cool things available for Spectre. You'd think you'd have a little bit more.
Just you have the immortal?
No. It's actually just a
Oh.
common, but the fact
Yeah.
that it's like this kind of broken up blade that kind of hovers is actually kind of cool.
Look how sad Spectre looks on the.
On the
She's
left.
just like,
Oh,
oh,
I'm
I can't speak.
Yo, new voice. New voice.
She's just like.
I really hope the alternate voice for her is what people have been talking about for a while, where with the potential where as she levels up, she gets
it
more and more
becomes
clear. Yeah, because that's in her lore. And like she manifests the peak of her power just at the very end of everything before she kind of diffuses into a new dimension.
Then maybe she can flip that frown upside down because she's looking pretty sad right now. She's looking like Empire is probably looking right now.
Oh god, you're mean.
I have no feelings. Seriously though, she's really sad. She even has a bit of a alien-esque head going on too.
A little bit, yeah.
We need a predator.
So what do you
we need a
think
predator
for the
set
lane?
for Bloodseeker.
What do you think for the lanes? Like, well, who's got the advantage here? I mean, my initial thought is that thanks to Spectre, Album Sheet are going to be at a slight disadvantage, but you have some pretty okay supports to guard her between the Wraith King and the Skywrath Mage. They can rotate really well to put pressure on other lanes to take pressure off of the Spectre, obviously. And as soon as the Brewmaster has his ultimate in a Blink Dagger, so like 8-10 minutes probably if he's farming well, I think there's a lot of potential for Album Sheet to take fights around the map.
Yeah, I like
be
Album
careful
Sheets.
of the Tidehunter.
I like their draft a little bit better. Obviously, the Drow Ranger and the Visage is terrifying and can get off to a ridiculous start that never stops, and then you win the game. But with the potential of not only Primal Split, but also the reincarnation that Bignum has available to him on the Wraith King, so if he gets off to a decent start, Wraith King can even then transition into a core role, and all the time you've got Album Sheet fighting with 4, Aloha's just going to be farming, and he can join up on these fights anytime. Like, oh, good Primal Split? Sure, I'll come in and I'll take all the kills, no big deal. Then he's got a Radiance, which... There's no Tinker this game, so he's not forced 100% into going Radiance, but when you pick up Spectre, that's pretty much your goal off the start, is get Radiance. We'll see, though, if he changes that plan. But XGame, by no means, don't count them out. They've got a ridiculous lineup in their own right. Going to be a little bit more dependent on Blink Daggers, but that goes the same for Album Sheet, actually. Pretty much every team, every game of Dota, very dependent on those early Blink Dagger timings for your initiators, but yeah. 2 for xGame, and 3 of those Blink Daggers going to be needed for Album Sheet.
Yeah. So it looks like we are going to have a 5-man into the jungle defensively from xGame. They don't want to invade, but they want to prevent themselves from getting engaged on this early. It'd be kind of weird for Album Sheet to be going anywhere with a Spectre on their team. They don't have a good early engage. You can see how far back he's sitting.
Yeah. Alright, so just some
Theoretically
wards put
risky
down.
positioning from Inquisitor right there. If there was any kind of jungle invasion, he'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's risky to get out to that point, but once you're standing here, you can just see over, so...
Yeah.
And, 325 move speed. He's the fastest hero in the game right now. No, he's not, because people have
No,
moods.
he's not. Well, also Luna. Well, you mean in this game? Yes.
He's the fastest base move speed, 325.
No, Luna, 330.
Really?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Oh,
Battle
I think you're a liar.
Someone's 330.
Whatever.
I could have
Luna's
sworn
not a real
someone was
hero, anyways. Invis
Maybe
Rune
I'm,
for Big now.
maybe I'm crazy.
I thought she was like 320.
No, 320 is
Naga? There's some close.
Well,
Alright,
325 is Chaos
Doesn't
Knight.
matter.
It does to me.
Alright. Anyways, he's not the fastest at all because everyone goes boots, man. It's like the
330.
new thing. It's been the thing for a while, honestly. Boots on Bignums, support Wraith King to get in range. Boots on the Batrider as he goes into the off lane. Boots on Stallcat as he goes into the off lane. And yeah, that's the only pair of boots right out the gate there. He just doesn't want to get zoned by the sky. So you pick up the boots. It's pretty nice. Mirana's there as well, but she can always leap out. And it's a support Mirana along with the Centaur just looking to get some kills. Stomp Arrow if they can find it. And middle lane, I favor Tidehunter in this matchup, I think. Or at least it's going to be pretty even.
I don't like the decision to go dual lanes here. At all. I think that the Visage Drow is strong, but not enough pressure to actually prevent the Batrider from getting any experience or gold up here. I think that the 2 heroes down bottom is not going to be enough to prevent Aloha Dance from farming, because you still have a pair of supports you could always be worried about, and Skywrath, of course, is very, very frustrating to deal with in lane, thanks to Arcane Bolt. I mean, look at how much damage
Yep, quite a bit.
just took right there. So I think, in general, these lanes now, I was saying, you'll usually lose a laning phase when you have a
Volk's
Spectre
gonna
around.
Die?
I don't
Volk's
like
gonna
this.
Die.
No, he's not. He's fine.
That's questionable. Well, Visage just hit level 2 and then immediately standing in the fire had like a full soul assumption charge. Thought Mantis would maybe get some of those frost arrows up and running and then they could just turn and kill him, but no. Vova getting very aggressive. I don't think he'll be able to do that again now that Visage is level 2. And like you talked about, not stopping the farm of Spectre, 10-0 on the CS. Doing quite well, best in the game. And probably not going to be stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, I think obviously the one advantage of dual lanes that they'll end up with slightly better experience on both of their supports. So maybe they can start rotating a little bit earlier. Maybe they're not worried about like the initial 5 to 7 minutes and more worried about the like maybe 6 to 12 minute mark. Get some earlier rotations going and leave the Drow solo against the Batrider. But Drow solo against Batrider, that's dangerous for her. I mean, she has the gust, but the turn rate slow could really screw her over.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky and a sticky situation because she's got the damage to kind of just like kill Bat straight up. Like as he's trying to close the gap, just get as many hits in as possible, at least I guess at level 6 because you don't have much damage before then. But yeah, going to be susceptible to being left alone against the Batrider. It's up to Visage here as he does the pulls to also rotate back over and make his presence known. As in the bottom lane, it's that Spectre still farming up a storm. And Big Green here on the Tidehunter, like I said, I favor him a little bit in this matchup. Brewmaster pretty much dominates the mid lane, but Tidehunter going against a melee, always going to be really, really good. 2 in Anchor Smash, 2 in Kraken Shell, and even more damage than he's taken to that poor Brewmaster.
But I think they're going to trade reasonably even. The Stomp is incredibly
2
good
CS
for
difference,
Brewmaster.
but
Yeah. And the Stomp for Brewmaster, of course, makes it really easy for him to farm when he's against a melee, because Tide still does have to worry about that.
Chat's
And
got your back, by the way.
Axmo's gone for a bottle. What do they got my back about?
Luna 330 move speed.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
probably
I
nine.
checked. I went to the library. She's 330.
What a cheater. Co-casters can cheat, guys. It's not fair.
So I went afterwards. I said it first and then
Oh,
confirmed it, because I was like, I gotta
course.
know I'm right.
All equal could be in some trouble. He's already used his leap. Stallcat's looking for the stun. He will find the 2 supports. Maybe they try to go on him. No, as looks like it was a ground-targeted dagger there from, what is it, the Spectral Dagger? Yeah, Spectral Dagger coming out, spreading its path everywhere. If you ground target it, you can hit more than one target, and you'll get independent paths coming out. So it's a pretty big deal in team fights to try to ground target that ability.
Yeah, it does in fact make a huge difference if you can line people up with that. I mean, it's kind of like a Nyx stun, you know, if you hit the ground targeted one. I mean, obviously now it's only ground targeted.
Well, only ground targeted, but yeah, it's much better.
I mean, it's just the idea, it's just really strong if you can get that stuff. Well, you know, it's like ground targeting a Fisher too, which is generally a whole lot better, and you can catch more people with it. Speaking of, that's another thing that's only going to be ground targetable.
Yeah, I don't know if that matters too much though. I feel like in the pro games, you're only ground targeting it anyways.
I think overall it's a buff. I think it
Reeves is in trouble.
raises the skill floor of the hero.
This is the first blood. And there it is, Vo the Pain. Drawing it out. Well, he had the help of one. Visage was very far away and alone, so not going to get the kill. And Brewmaster also had rotated up.
If that was a tri-lane, then he doesn't die. They're not. My biggest problem with the 2-1-2 setup, that's the Naga Slark creepy baby thing that is just terrifying.
When did this come out, dude? I was gone casting other games for like a week, and now we've got like these weird abominations that I never want to look at.
Dude, isn't it just like freaky? The whole like Naga X Slark ship thing. I'm just, oh god, I'm gone. I'm not on that train anymore.
Yeah, I'm
that kid is
well off of that train because those children, dude, abominations. All
basically,
right,
what I've just admitted is that if a couple will have ugly kids, they don't deserve to be in love. That's what I've just said here.
Deep down in everyone's subconscious, I think the thought is kind of there, so don't feel too bad. You're just, you know, enough of a dick to say it out loud.
Wow, thanks, dude. Under the bus. Yeah, I mean,
no, I'll say it out loud as well. I completely agree with you.
My problem with this whole dual lane setup comes down to not that they're not protecting the Drow enough, because she's farming great, but just that why are they dual laning? What's the point?
Why not, man?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, would you rather have that going on? Or would you rather be able to actually effectively zone? What is the dual lane achieving right now?
I don't know, but soon nothing will matter.
Getting zoned out.
We're gonna have another patch. Equal's in trouble though, trying to get himself killed by the Roche. Roche not having any of that. Oh, this isn't gonna disjoint. He dies. Skywrath picking up another kill. Arrow to Stallcat. I don't know, man. They get the illusion rune. No bottle there.
On that stick for Brewmaster if a fight.
Why did Big Num get that illusion rune? What was he doing?
Like, I have no idea.
Mo had rotated down and was looking to scoop it up. He's probably so mad.
I was like, bro? What are you doing?
Yeah, I doubt he was like, bro. He's probably like, are you effing serious? The game of rage, man. It's real.
Suka, etc.
Yeah, I think something like that. Probably not in English. I translated. Took some creative liberties.
Well, I don't know what I would do without your...
Reeves is in trouble again. They're going to haunt up as well. The lasso onto Reeves. This poor Visage. Spectre's going to come in here. Silence goes out. Reeves not going to be long for this world, though. Soul Assumption goes. They might be able to kill Aloha because he got the Frost Arrows. He's got the difference here in speed because of the Spectral Dagger. Mantis is very, very low. Almost burns alive in the fire. But,
that range!
The Icy Lady is going to stay alive. Aloha's cut in the trees, and ladies and gentlemen, this is why you buy a Quelling Blade on Spectre.
They know he's there. I mean,
what is Wonderfucker doing? Dude, like, you know,
he doesn't have the mana.
Berserker
He's 80 mana short.
Oh, is he? No. The Titan Hunter just walked by, like, this Hill Troll Berserker isn't gathering lumber. He's attacking Spectre.
No. This can't... Okay, he gave him a TV scroll. Okay. I was sitting there thinking, oh my god, he's actually gonna... So Spectre's actually gone for an urn, by the way. So she's trying to...
I love it.
Honestly, yeah, it's pretty solid.
The best item ever.
Oh, Wadafaka gonna get Silence going in on. He's got the slow coming out. He does have the Ravage available. He's got stuns. Does he want to pop it? Not really anyone in range for it right now. Nice little split there to dodge that arrow. It does hit on the Fire Panda, but he still has the stun from the Earth Panda, which is what matters the most right now. Right onto Reeves. The Soul Assumption taken up, but he doesn't get to use it. Wadafaka gonna get Cycloned. He looked like he was going back in to go.
I think they can kill the Tide.
Now the bailout looks like Equal might be getting... No. Axmo turns back. Doesn't have any stick charges or bottle to try and get himself manned up again, so no potential to re-engage right there. DD Rune bottom, picked up by Bignum. Very unfortunate for Axmo that he had to... He's probably now going to have to run back to base. But overall, okay fight for Album Sheet. I think they committed a little more than they wanted to just for one kill, but they got something, which they'll take.
I think they maybe could have killed Tide, right? Like, his Kraken Shell, it procs at 500 damage. He only had 200 HP. They had a Boulder, so a Boulder and some right-clicks, there's no way he's getting off the Ravage. I don't know. It would have been really close and probably not worth it, like the high risk reward sort of logic. But
I think
either
the fact
way,
the fact that Murano was kind of waiting in the wings and could have arrowed someone behind the tower made it way too risky.
Yeah, an Album Sheet was pretty low on mana. It would have been one Arcane Bolt and a couple right clicks. Might not have been enough, even after the stun duration, so...
Kraken Shell stops those right clicks pretty effectively. He's got 2 points in it, so 20 damage off of that, and then Stout Shield as well.
Yeah. Well, Stout Shield is effectively useless now.
Yeah, that's
As
true.
soon as you put 2 points in Kraken Shell, Stout Shield's useless.
Yeah, gotta sell it.
Yeah, I don't know why he still has it, actually. He's like, it feels good. You know, I bought this. I'm going to hold on to it. It's like a baby blanket.
Yeah.
Except you don't buy it. Whatever. It was almost a good point. Centaur's farming up. He's got Tranquils. He's 1,800 gold. He's pretty close to the Blink Dagger. Looking at the farm, though, it's Drow up in front. She did go for a Midas as well. Tidehunter next in line. The Blink now coming out for the Brew. And Tide with the Mana Boots already up to level 8. And his Blink Dagger is also coming out. But here's the Haunts. It looks like they're going for equal there in the top sort of jungle area for the Dire. Stampede will come out. They're going to disengage. But it's Album Sheet, the team with the Spectre right now that... didn't even really look at it and realize it. 4 kills to 0 at the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing pretty well for themselves in this laning phase. And like I said, usually when you have a Spectre laning phase, it's kind of weak, but
Oh, Reeves.
I'm going to harp on it. I don't like the dual lanes still. Oh, there's the Ravage, going to catch 2. Inquisitor and Axmo. Inquisitor going to go down, going to get off the last Arcane Bolt. Not
So
quite going to
close,
kill Reeves.
5.
Does he have Gravekeeper's Cloak stacks, man? He's got the 1 level in it. And that probably saved him right there. So he had 5 life. Oh, man. Looks like Bignum wants to go in, has this Invis rune posture. There's a sentry right there. Oh, they saw him. They saw him right there. Yeah, see, you can see him.
Soon it'll
getting
be
out.
this far. Soon.
Are they giving it another radius buff?
Yeah, they're giving it... Well, they took it
They're
away.
giving it
They're
back
giving
the
it
old
back.
radius.
The 50, yeah.
That's good.
It is good.
I didn't like short sentry range.
Don't have to worry about it any longer. Patch is coming out soon, ladies and gentlemen. In case you've been living under a rock, 6.82 announced. The date, of course, because Valve doesn't announce dates. They just do things.
I would not expect it to be out today, honestly. I would expect it to be out tomorrow. I would expect bug fixes on the test client today.
Yeah, that's true. It already did hit the test client, so it's got to be quite soon. Aloha, though, the first time he's going to see, well, any sort of action against him. He's been involved a couple of times. He's actually won 1-1, taking his first death there. Now up top, the Lasso onto Mantis. Well, okay, so both cores die. Pretty even trade across the board for both teams, but it's still Album Sheet maintaining that 4-kill advantage right now.
Yeah. Well, Inspector, I think she had just bought... Drow's had a Midas for quite a while now. She got it, like, 4 or 5 minutes ago, I think. She went for it pretty hard. So, she's going to be in pretty good shape in terms of getting the early levels. I mean, getting to level 11 and getting that extra 20 agility off marksmanship will be a really big deal, as well as the extra points in precision aura, obviously, for the Visage. I think that's probably their main goal with that Midas, is just to get that level 11 as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's a pretty good point, right? Most people think about, oh, she's so fragile, she needs more than a Midas to get around, and she needs other items, but she really doesn't. She just needs level 11,
Oh, nice
level
stun
16
on
and
Visitor
marksmanship.
coming in from Stallcat. They're going to get a TP in. The Mystic Flare getting a lot of damage, but it's not quite enough to bring down that tanky Centaur.
It's hot, though. The Desolate coming in. Aloha Dance going to take it, and the Dagger will bring down the Centaur. Mantis, though, straight onto Aloha, and the Moonlight Shadow goes out. She backs off. Big Num was there as well. Uses that stun, runs out of mana. Equal, still doing a bit of scouting. We'll see the Brewmaster coming in. Brewmaster's got the Primal Split. He's looking for this.
He didn't see him. Oh, yes, he did, but he
Oh, he
missed it.
misses
The
it.
leap came out just in time. I thought he got
Now they know
fucked
that
up.
TPs have been used and that Mantis is up here alone. So there you go. Vova Pain blinks in with the Flying Vision right onto Mantis there. The Drow gonna take a fall. You know, he's trying to do as much as he can. Throws out the silence. Very annoying. Pretty quick traverse speed, honestly. Like, that's a really good silence to deal with the Brewmaster, but not when you're alone 1 versus 4.
Yeah. God, that Urn is being so legit, man. I mean, Urn
It's
Spectre,
really,
like,
really good. I love it.
I mean,
They're
it's
going
not
drums,
much of
too.
a delay for you. Yeah, so Urn plus Drum gives you what? Like, about as much tankiness as a Vanguard, if not more. It gives you more utility than a Vanguard, and they aren't items you're just going to throw away at, like, 15 minutes, because Vanguard. Although, hey, next
Well, it's
patch.
great because you ult and then you literally just get Urn charges, and if you join the fight or not, like, you can go back to farming. Well, I guess you have to join the fight to pick
No,
up the Urn
yeah,
charges.
you have to join the fight to get the charges.
But you get the Urn charges, you can heal up as you walk back to your lane to farm. You got mana regen on it as well. Now you've got the extra move speed from your drum, and I mean, sure, you go for another item that's like almost 900 gold in the Urn, as opposed to just the phase drums, but it honestly doesn't slow down your progress towards your Radiance very much at all. If anything, it sometimes speeds it up because you're that much more able in the fights, and you can get some kills and a quicker gold than just hitting creeps.
Well, not just that, but when you do go into a fight, usually as Spectre, if you go into a fight, you immediately have to retreat back to Fountain. unless you have some sort of other regen item getting you going. And if you're just going like Drum Radiance just for the tankiness but not for the regen, then you might lose actually a lot of time you could otherwise be spending farming. I think it's a cool build. I don't think it's always going to be optimal, but in a game like this, where you have like the early damage potential from all your other heroes, and Spectre can just kind of come in and swoop up the kills, I think it is really strong. I think it would be less good in a more defensively oriented lineup. Like if you hold off instead of looking to engage. Looks like Stallcat is very, very low. I don't think they have a haunt available. Oh, never mind!
JK!
Get the Stampede, and there's the stuns. So it's going to be a wasted haunt, actually.
What slowed him down so much?
Away.
Oh, I think it was the lingering. Was it like the ice ghost? I don't know.
No, I thought it was he was close enough to get hit by the Stampede slow.
Oh, that's what it was. Sorry, Stampede slow. Yes, I always forget about the slow off of that.
Yeah, he actually.
Stallcat Moonlight Shadow. They turn it around and they're gonna kill him. The Visage Birds there as well. Did they even activate? They activated a while. That Precision Aura with a 2-minute cooldown. It's a pretty big deal. It only works on the birds when it's activated, and they will find Mantis. So. They killed the Spectre, but every time they've managed to kill the Spectre, immediately Album Sheet kills Drow Ranger. So they're really working it. Getting the only trade that's honestly acceptable is just the core for both of these teams.
Yeah, they're sticking about even on each other, and actually, you know, thanks to the fact that she's been left alone a little bit more, I think, and also the fact that she's been involved in more kills than the Drow Ranger, the Spectre is out-leveling this Midas Drow. She's about a third of the way through level 10, and Drow is like a little bit more than halfway through level 9.
Yeah, man, Spectre. Fighting. Joining up is the way to go. Like, if you've got the stronger team fight, even though you're on a core, like, don't hesitate to join up in your team fights, because when you win the team fights, you're going to get way more than, like, the 2 creep waves you would have farmed.
I mean, well, it depends on how big the fight is. If it's like, if you're joining up and losing travel time for one hero, it's generally not worth it. But if you're getting in on an engagement and then you can just farm the lane you're going to, it's
proper
fantastic.
Team fight that you got the upper hand in. Medallion of Courage comes out on the Visage, and we can already see the familiars there posted up by the Roshan pit. So expect the Dire to look for that, as it's Vovapain looking for Reeves here. He's going to actually spawn up new familiars, trying to slow him down, but the lasso will go out in the meantime, and doesn't even use the stomp for those. I think he could have lived a little bit longer. Maybe Mantis could get there. The Stampede goes out. Vova, though, they've got the vision on him, and he will fall. The Neutral's looking to get a piece of that, but won't. Drow Ranger picks up the kill there, and that one, ooh, double damage. This could change everything right now. The haunt, the crit, the Mystic Flare, it's not going to be enough. She will be able to TP out. The bird's going to be dropping right now, haunting over very, very briefly, or short distance, over to the Morana. She's going to get slowed up. Did they go for this, though? She's got leaves.
Back off cooldown.
Only 1 point in the arrow this game, so again, we see a different sort of Morana build coming out.
Hey, man, she is just the jack of all trades of heroes. She can do anything, build her anyway. Build like 99% of items in the game are probably viable on her.
Pretty much, yeah.
She's pretty silly. I really like her.
It's getting messed with a little bit, but it doesn't seem like it's going to change the core elements of the hero too much.
She's the kind of hero where you're basically only going to tweak numbers at this point, because the core of the hero. I mean, the only thing that was like not a direct numbers tweak was the scaling damage thing from the skill shot on the arrow, which is still a numbers tweak of sorts, but it just made it so that long-range sacred arrows were more rewarding, you know?
Yep. Aloha Dance is going to find Stallcat. I don't think Stallcat's got the damage to kill this, and actually if the dagger goes out, which it will, and that's not going to disjoint, but he's far enough away at this point. Some help was coming, but a little too far. So Album Sheet 10-6 right now. Brewmaster still on top of the net worth. That tri-core for Album Sheet that was leading the net worth has been disrupted a little bit. Drow Ranger has put herself in between that at 6.6k in second place. Then we got the Spectre at 6.5. Still with the... actually, no, they've caught up. Drow got that kill, solo XP, so she's actually heading levels now. Aloha Dance, the Spectre, and Mantis, the Drow Ranger, both sitting at level 11. And pretty much tied on net worth, around 6.6, 6.9k. And then we've got the Batrider here. We've seen Batriders doing very well today in our first game, and now this game, sitting fourth in net worth. He's got Blink, he's got Force, and he's got the Tranquil Boots up. He just goes back to farming, not finding any pickoffs. Actually, he might get picked off himself. Invisible, the Tide Hunter, rolling through here. Tide has taken up the mid lane this game. Wadafaka will build out the mechanism, so the Blink Dagger is delayed, but we do have the Blink Dagger up on Centaur. Centaur also working towards the Force Staff on xGame to sort of match the utility of that Batrider. Batrider picked up a gem. This is when Empire lost the game. They had the Batrider, they picked up the gem, they quickly threw away the gem, and then pretty much quickly threw away the game. Album Sheet not looking to repeat that.
You know, they're buying it against the Mirana instead of with the Mirana on their team, which I think is kind of a little bit more helpful. Prevent those Tidehunter initiations. That's going to be a really big deal. Also, of course, getting back some of that map control will just free up space for the Spectre and let them pressure the Drow more psychologically than anything else, because she can't farm the lanes if she can't see. You can see how far back she's farming all the way in her jungle because she doesn't feel safe anywhere else. Vovapane wants to go in. Oh, yes, nice dodge. Blinked actually behind to get that Flaming Lasso to make sure that oh, the damage is going to come out. They didn't get the Urn charge out, though. I don't think she had one. That's so unfortunate. Oh, Vovapane wants this. Oh, that was really ballsy. Equal not quite going to get far enough out of the way. Grave Shield going to hit Vovapane, but he is going to get a nice blink out. Primal Split goes out. Wadafaka going to get tornadoed up. They're probably just going to bail out, or do they want to do this? Yeah, I mean, Ravage is still available on Wadafaka. They can't re-engage this.
I mean, it was risky already to haunt to this high cliff near a tier 2 and almost on the backside of it as a Spectre. You know, the team, obviously with their tier 2 up, and even the tier 3s from the middle lane, and obviously the tier 2 there as well, could react quickly. And they do. The fight even transitions over to the middle lane. Batrider does not make the same mistake that Solo did. Vovapane's like, I got a gem. I got to get out of here. And sure, it wasn't the best use of a Primal Split, but it saves the gem and maybe even saves the day. So they use it to just retreat.
I mean, yeah, not getting a kill off a Primal Split is frustrating, but at the same time, you're not relying on your Brewmaster to snowball and control any more time because your Spectre's doing so well. She's already at 2,800 gold towards her Relic. I mean, she's got to be going for a Relic at this point. So, what else would she be getting with this much gold saved up? They're probably going to have to sacrifice this mid-tower. They might be able to engage, but I don't think so without the Primal Split. Yep.
Looking for the deny, they don't find it. Big Num look at Big Num.
Only their second tower they lost.
Is he holding a skill right now? He puts 1 in stats, so that's 1, that's 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's just holding a skill point right now. Deciding in a team fight if he wants to die and let the reincarnate go through. And this is something I saw, and now something I do on Wraith King, because that big 5-minute cooldown on reincarnation, you do not want to die with reincarnation if you're just alone. It's a waste. You want to use it in a team fight, and you might see him go ahead and throw that skill point into it, but they don't get there in time. The Roshan has been claimed, and Inquisitor just took an arrow to the face. They don't get the indication, but the sound clip plays, so Mirana knows she hit somebody, and Mantis will go in, but there's sentries there. He tries to just break up the smoke with a cheeky play. He does have the Aegis after all, so he will respawn, but is the team going to go in on this? Here comes Tidehunter rolling on in on the Ravage. They know he's there. Big Num has got to skill up his, maybe I just can't do math. Is he going to skill up this Reincarnate? He needs to. Looking for that Ravage yet to come out right now. Aloha Dance is going to throw out the Haunt. The Ravage will go now, hitting a couple people, but not very effective. Not working on the Brewlings there. Yeah, Big Num skills up the ultimate, goes off the Reincarnation slow. The stun onto Equal right now. In trouble. He will leap up to the high ground into the trees. Vovapane looking for him, though. It's already spamming up the Napalm. Equal, though, killing some people on the backside of the team fight. Will eventually fall there. Stallcat also not going to be much longer for this world, and it's the Mantis who gets away. Reeves following in Mantis's footsteps, and actually with the Grave Chill is enough. It's enough to get away. It's a very good spell to escape. I think one more blink stomp in. They're going to go for this. No one's really respawning. Oh, that's going to disable the blink and slow him a bit. So some good micro is going to keep Reeves alive.
That would have been a really dangerous chase, honestly. Thanks to Grave Chill. Vovapane might have died if they had gone in for that. So I actually respect the decision to back off. Oh, so we are going to have a TP in from Tidehunter. They don't really want to deal with that in spite of the fact that he does not have his Ravage. Did burn it in that previous fight. So that was, what, a 1 for 3, I think? Or was it 1 for 4?
Well, the Aegis was used.
Okay.
But Drow didn't die again.
Yeah, so 1 for 3 plus Aegis. Drow is a Shadow Blade now, which... I mean, does she not realize? I mean, they have to know there's a gem. They're losing wards all over the place. But
yeah, does she not realize that Blink Dagger is the go-to thing? Not to say you have to adhere to the meta 100%, but there's a reason.
Yeah, but there's also some merit to Shadow Blade. Gets you that little bit of move speed when you pop it, which is nice. I mean, obviously usable even if you're taking damage. The extra damage and attack speed never hurts. Attack speed when you're already getting all that big bonus from marksmanship. Although if you were gonna go for an item just to like kill people with, I'd like to go like Manta and then crit if you were going for nothing like defensively at all. I mean, he looks like he's building a Yashi. He has the Blade of Alacrity. It's just kind of weird that he got the Shadow Blade first. There's got to be a reason behind it, though.
I guess, right?
Well, there's got to be a reason I'm not thinking of. Is basically what I'm thinking of. Is basically what, because you know,
pros can make mistakes.
Something is going through his head.
Let's not put them on a pedestal where they can do no wrong. I mean, the only person jumping on you is going to be Batrider, and he's got a gem. So what does the Shadow Blade do to you? Maybe you can sneak up on Spectre and just murk him real quick, but
You can dodge Brewmaster initiation with it.
Yeah, and then Brewmaster, I suppose.
But yeah, I mean, if someone's going for you and Spectre does a haunt in, they don't have the Batrider handy. Like if he's somewhere else, you can Shadow Blade out, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems suboptimal, but
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just trying to think of why he might have gone that way.
because Shadowblade is purple and it's awesome.
I mean, purple is a pretty good color.
For me. Spectre as well. They can just hand Spectre the gem once she gets this radiance, and she's very close to it. And then when she haunts, the gem will go everywhere, and it will reveal everything. So I don't know. Shadowblade, dangerous. Of course, xGame could just get a pick off, take that gem back, and then you're forcing people to either buy another one or pick up some dust. So I mean, that's a good merit, right? Like if you do kill the Batrider, xGame with the Drow Ranger Shadowblade is going to be pretty strong.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in general, I mean, it's I don't know. The invis is not the only thing about the item, and I think we kind of talk about it like it is sometimes. That's, you know, I mean, obviously it's a pretty big component, but there are other pieces of the item besides the invisibility that are still strong.
Yeah.
It's just not the godlike item it previously was. So, alright, Bignum gonna fall. Reincarnate still on cooldown from that skill up during the previous fight, although I think that was a very, very good skill up. I think he caught 3 people in that slow when he quick skilled it.
He did indeed. There's the tip of the day for Wraith King players, which we all should be because it's literally free wins. Just hold that skill until you really, really need it.
Sven stands ready for 6.82, dude.
Oh, I already call Sven Blue Wraith King because he's the next best hero in the game.
Dude, I love that guy. I am gonna play so much support Sven in .82. I'm just gonna blink eggs, dude. That's the new thing, blink eggs.
It's all about the knights, man. The Rogue Knight, the Holy Knight, and the Omni Knight. Just knight strats, can't lose.
I don't know, man. No, I'm not an Omni Knight fan. I think he's too hard to lane.
So good!
Only in Team Meatwall was that ever that great. And even then they lost.
Team Meatwall. A month later, we're still talking about it. Everyone's like, what is Team Meatwall? Basically, Team Meatwall is Pudge and Omni Knight, and Rubik for Nullfield, and everyone on your team has 80% magic resistance. There you go.
It was really funny. It was a very funny game.
Alright, middle lane, they look to initiate on Devovapine. He's going to force F of his own. He's going to get slowed down by that Stampede. The Stomp can't quite get in range, and no damage taken, or at least the 3 seconds cools down, and he blinks away. So they try to pick off that blink, or excuse me, try to pick off the gem, and they're not able to do it, and now 25 minutes. You're sure you're a little bit delayed, but now Spectre is just a farming machine. Just look how much Aloha's GPM. Let's check his GPM now, because it's that's like the hardest stat to really influence. GPM 430. Let's just watch that increase as he starts to farm up. Visage will find the kill there. Looks like Precision Aura was thrown out by the Drow, so that's a 2-minute cooldown. Something you don't talk a lot about when you see the Visage Drow combo. They use a strong 2-minute cooldown just to kill Batrider, but hey, it's the gem.
We were just talking about if they get the gem, that Shadow Blade becomes a lot better, and obviously, there it is. Looks like they're going to take that top tower off that as well. Thank you, Precision Aura. Pretty strong. Also, marksmanship, pretty ridiculous. And there is a full pipe finished up by the Tidehunter. Which is...
not going for Blink at all. I just going to use the Stampede. He's had no problem getting into the middle of the team fights.
Well, he's also been... I mean, he's pretty tanky between the mechanism and the pipe. So, when it comes down to it, even if you try to focus down the Tidehunter, he's probably going to get the Ravage off anyway.
Yeah, he is. And we saw him get the Ravage off. It was just a little too late in that team fight around the Roche pit in this area. That was about the range of the Ravage. It hit a hero here, and then the Broodlings were situated there. And didn't really do anything to them. But that was my Ravage diagram. Enjoy it. I like to draw. Big item coming out. The 6th man. So xGame now have a man advantage as they pick up the Aghanim Scepter on the Visage. 3 familiars, all capable to receive... the benefits from the benevolent Drow Ranger, the Precision Aura coming off a cooldown in like 35 seconds, so look for them to try to murder somebody in about 35 seconds.
Spectre's also gotten her Vitality booster already, so she's going straight for that heart, which I like. I mean, there's a lot of just raw magic damage coming out of xGame, and then of course the Drow Ranger. The nice thing about Spectre, obviously, is you pop Haunt, it'll cut down the supports pretty hard, and you just port yourself onto the Drow, throw that dagger, and just start slowing her up, so she can't get away from you, and since you're right on top of the Drow, you don't have to worry about the marksmanship damage.
Yep. That's what I mean, they got a lot of Blink Initiate, right? To try to disable the marksmanship if they can just jump on her. and she's only got the Shadow Blade to try to squirm out of it. And looking at Album Sheet right now, no detection at all, so that Shadow Blade could be a big deal. The gem they handed over to Reeves, we saw him just D-ward some things. I like this pickup. Brewmaster's got a BKB, hasn't used it yet, but he needs it because there's a silence on the field. Isn't really too worried about length of the charge, but it's at 10 seconds, and he goes for the Vlads right afterwards, so a really strong pickup for him and for the team. And what else do we got coming out for Album Sheets? The Radiance, of course, working towards the Heart, and not a whole lot else to speak of. Big Num trying to transition to a core has gone for a Midas. Aloha's getting ganked up right now, trying to escape here. The Ravage will just miss him, actually. Needs to dodge the arrow, but will not be able to, and, well, they find a much-needed kill there on that Spectre, and this time, Album Sheet don't find the trade on the Drow Ranger. The first couple deaths, the first 2 deaths for Spectre were met by quick deaths on the Drow as well. It's going 2 for 2, but this time xGame with a slight upper hand in that exchange. They're down 3 kills here at 28 minutes. They're actually ahead 3,000 gold and ahead 2,000 experience, so this game is going to be extremely close. I mean, even with the Spectre, with the Radiance at this point, it's going to be close.
There's the Mantle on Drow, so this is kind of their opportunity to get some serious business damage done, because obviously with the marksmanship, when she spawns those illusions, they'll have crap tons of agility.
Yep.
So, God, it's going to be... I really feel like they have to take advantage of the next 10 minutes or so before the Spectre gets another item or 2, because then it's just going to be too late. The Drow won't be able to stand up to her.
Yeah, once Spectre gets the Heart, she's going to be a pretty tough kill for anybody, magic or physical damage, just because of her raw HP, and she'll be obviously pumping out a ton of damage from Dispersion, maybe from Desolate if she can get someone alone, and of course the Radiance burn. That's pretty mitigated by the early pipe, though, that Wadafaka went for. It's 1,500 gold. You got to expect he goes for a Blink Dagger now. Just that added source of initiation is always going to be better. Maybe he goes in first, and then if it goes south, they can use the Stampede to retreat, because as it stands, they kind of use the Stampede to initiate right now. He buys up a smoke, actually. We could also see the Shiva's Guard come out if he's not too worried about the initiation with the Blink. So Shiva's Guard or Blink going to be the next for Tide. Yeah. That's what's current gold? Is anyone getting close to anything right now? Centaur is up to like 3k. He's going for a Heart, so we'll see the Heart come out for him. Already another 1,600 on Mantis, but Mantis is going to get picked off here with this lasso. Big Num is going to go engage on this. The pipe goes out. Can they bring her down, though? She's slowed up a little bit. Oh, she goes to turn. That was a mistake because of the napalm. They bring her down. Now Mo is going to jump onto Wadafaka right now, so Album Sheet getting this team fight off started great, and you can see if they're the ones initiating, well, xGame still in a world of pain. They've got to take their team fights, I think, a little bit more carefully than Album Sheet does.
Well, that was, I feel like, honestly, really, really good tactical positioning around the map. So, Album Sheet knew that if they sent Aloha Dance down to farm, they could probably bait the Centaur, the Visage Birds, and maybe one more hero, in this case the Marana, down to try and pressure him out of the lane so he couldn't be getting in a farm on the Spectre. So he was just hiding down there. While this is happening, the rest of the team is maneuvering around trying to find, you know, some sort of pickoff. And now, of course, not only did they get that pickoff, but the Haunt just lets him get right in, and now it's a 5-man push in mid lane, and all they lose in exchange for this is a T2 in bottom. Looks like they're going to buy back now. The Ravage is up. The silence.
They've got Primal Split and Reincarnate, so all the big ultimates available. Trying to get this Ravage off. He is silenced. Unsilenced now. Big Num will fall for the second time pretty much immediately, but they've got what they came for. They got the tier 3, they got the ranks, still holding on to a small 4-kill advantage, and they look to retreat quickly. The gem, again, they got it from Inquisitor. No, Inquisitor just bought one on Album Sheet and handed it over. So they've invested a little bit in terms of money. Again, another 1,800 gold into gems. Reeves still holding on to the one that was purchased up earlier by the Batrider. As Batrider now purchasing up a BKB and xGame, well, they're not going to give up, of course. They will actually very quickly decide to go into the Roche pit, and they will take it. That dire advantage. Enjoy it while it lasts, because it's going away a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot easier for Radiant to access the Roche pit. I mean, that's kind of the idea, I guess.
Still a little bit of a dire advantage.
The TP location is still a really big difference for Dire, because you still always have this tier 2, which is just so much better for TPing to either defend or quick take Roshan. So it's still going to be present from that respect, but it's just not quite as inaccessible for Radiant, and they're not quite as vulnerable on the way in.
Yeah, and to counterbalance that, they changed the way the offlane works, so Radiant might not have as big of an advantage now that you can sort of wrap around through the secret shop. It's going to be sick! I can't wait, but we're in this game right now, 32 minutes. basically equilibrium on both graphs here, but the BKB lasso up onto the Tide. He can crack an out of this to get off this Ravage. It will be silenced off. He's going to try to get the Ravage off. He will get it off with the BKB. Now the Primal Split coming out from the Brewmaster. Yeah, I don't think he hit anybody. He dodged it with the Primal Split. Now the Brewling's chasing out the rest of the team here as Aloha backs off from the Familiars. I think they can get Reeves here. A couple more attacks. That Arcane Bolt should do it. Gem on the deck right now, but the tides of battles change as xGame looks to be turning it around. Both gem carriers are down right now, and where did the gems go? Equals picked them one back up on the Morana, and I'm unsure actually. Oh, they both got them. So both gems over to xGame, and that's a big swing. That's 900 gold just from that team fight. But will they be able to break high ground? They do have Mantis after all. He destroys towers. You think Lycan hurts towers? Drow Ranger and Familiars with Precision Aura hurt towers. So they look to be evening up the rack score and maybe even taking more of an advantage, as I think they can get both of these here. There's no Haunt, there's no Primal Split, there's no Reincarnate for 14 seconds, and they will clean out the middle rack. So now xGame sitting pretty in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Mantis didn't get touched at all in that team fight, and that's the thing with a Drow, is she's really easy to bring down a lot of the time. She's very easy to focus if you can get the initiation off on her. But so they focused a lot of this initiation on trying to deal with the Tidehunter, who obviously did not get picked off in time. He was able to get the Ravage off. Even if it hit nobody, they kind of kept chasing him after the Ravage was off, which was very weird. And then after that, they focused on Reeves, on the Visage, when they realized they weren't going to get the Tidehunter. So by the time they were ready to kind of turn their attention to Mantis, they were all, like, dead, and all their abilities were used. So they immediately pushed back and lost that entire line of racks. It was just kind of really awkward execution from Albumsheet. I don't know if they just kind of couldn't lay eyes on Mantis. Maybe he had a really good Shadow Blade that I missed. But I don't know. I mean, they had a gem though. They had the gem. They didn't lose it until after Mantis was already back in the fight and killing everybody.
That is true. And I think they're going to keep the gem on Tidehunter. Equal is going to drop his in the base. Tidehunter now going for that Blink Dagger, so that was his next choice. Spectre is in some trouble. These Familiars pack a punch. They also reveal your location and cancel TPs, of which Aloha doesn't have any. He doesn't want to Haunt to get out of this, because, well, it doesn't quite work if you don't know where any of the enemies are, because you can't rely on it. But, yeah, I think the rest of his team is just going to try to force another engagement here. Maybe look into the middle lane, try to get that ranged racks. At least Albumsheet took the melee rack, so they're not at that much of a disadvantage, having just lost their ranged. So it's not terrible for them. It's not great either. xGame, though, leading by 5,000 gold, 4,000 experience. Pretty minimal at 34 minutes, but you can see that they are sort of ahead. They've got that Drow Ranger up who right-clicks like a truck. Now she's got that Aegis, BKB, Manta, Shadow Blade. Looking to probably sell that Midas next. And what do you think she goes for? Just for the Satanic, I guess? I know the interaction is weird with her arrows, but lifesteal is going to be pretty good.
It's pretty good. I do think she deals enough damage that she can get away with it instead of going for another damage item. And yeah, I mean, most of the damage coming out is magic, so the Butterfly probably not the best choice. Whereas it would be if you were facing someone like, you know, an anti-mage who had like a couple physical cores. Maybe she just goes BKB, because there really is a lot to dodge by having BKB. The only thing you're worried about oh god, wow, I'm literally dumb.
Okay.
I'm literally, wow. Yeah, I could see a Satanic. I would like a little more durability. That was the best part, is I looked through her inventory. I was like, wow, she doesn't have BKB yet. That's weird.
No BKB, huh?
God. What's that gold thing? I've never even seen that item, but it's not a BKB.
That's where you hide your items.
Oh, she could go MKB if she wanted to.
True.
Get her a little bit more damage, and then you don't... Well, yeah, and also you don't have to worry about Drunken Haze. Oh, nice dodge of the stun coming out, so Bignum didn't actually get the Wraithfire Blast onto Mantis. Now you have that magic immunity coming out on both sides. Wadafaka's silenced up, can't throw the Ravage, doesn't really even want to yet. They want to hold... Okay, Aloha Dance is in. Now is when he wants to try and throw out that Ravage if he can. Gonna probably do it the second he drops, but they're all gonna get out of range thanks to how long that Cyclone lasts, and he gets silenced before he can blink in. They're still trying to focus, but they're going for Reeves. Where's Mantis? He's coming. Where is he? I can't even see. There we go. Here he is, dealing the damage. Aloha Dance, but he gets stunned. He's going to lose that Aegis. Maybe they can pick off Wadafaka, or maybe they're just going to run. Axmo going to pick off Equal in the back, but Equal going to get the Bat Rider. Stallcat trying to chase people down, trying to slow them down for Mantis to catch up, but they just can't get anyone important. It's just Bignum. Inquisitor, maybe they're going to be able to catch up to him. He has no mana. There we go. Stallcat with the blink in. The damage coming out. Tons of damage from that double edge, but a Force Staff going to get Inquisitor out of the way. Back up in the meat of the fight, we do have Bignum trying to slow down Mantis. Spectre's coming back in. There's no Aegis available on that Drow Ranger. The she's being shown by the Shadow Path where she's going to go. The Radiance Burn in the urn going to tick her down. She's done. Stallcat going to stun Aloha Dance, but it's not going to be enough to let him get away. He got slowed by walking down on that path. Finished off by Axma. Actually finished off by the Dispersion, I think, from the Spectre
that's
right
what it
there.
looked like.
But,
Wow.
oh man, really good. So... Okay, so you had that chase down. Well, first of all, you had fantastic delay by AlbumSheet on preventing Wadafaka from getting that Ravage off for such a long time. He wasn't able to get it off. They got a really good spread when it did go off, so it didn't really change the team fight that much. They kind of got a couple of kills. They traded a little bit even, and then they picked off the Aegis, and then all bailed out and basically baited Mantis back in, got the buyback out on Bignum, and did a whole pincer thing to shut down the Drow Ranger. And without the Drow Ranger, they're not going to be able to take that melee Rax out. So overall, I think that was pretty alright execution coming out from AlbumSheet, but on top of that, they still already lost the ranged Rax. So even with a pretty solid team fight coming out and good decision making, they still lost a Rax. Where do they go from here?
Your exposed Rax are not safe in this game with Familiars
No, not at all.
and Precision Aura, so like... Honestly, if Creep even get into the space, the melee is going to fall just as fast without any heroes being there, and that's sort of the sixth man advantage you talk about when you've got that Drow Ranger, and of course, Visage with the Ags is very, very strong. There was the buyback on Bignum. Before that, I honestly thought it was about to be game over, and then when like you said, the pincer attack, when Spectre came back in to kill the Drow, if Drow didn't die, both racks pretty much are going to fall, and sure, you still have a fighting chance, but 2 racks down, it's always really, really difficult to get back into the games. But yeah, we'll see what they've got going from here. They've got that 6-kill advance. Well, okay, now leading an XP, but honestly, none of that matters right now. It's just who can win the fight, who can take a rack, so we don't need to look at the graphs too much more. We can see Drow still way out in front, but Spectre... Okay, we're not way out in front, but Drow and Spectre way out in front. Then you've got the Brewmaster a little bit further behind, and a steep drop-off into the 13 and 12Ks. We got everybody else there for X game. We'll see what Bignum, if he can produce anything big this game. He's got the Blink, he's got the... Yeah, they're trying to push. They force out the Glyph of Fortification as all of X Game are just sort of in the middle lane. They're going to ult up with the Moonlight Shadow. Any detection here from AlbumSheet? No, this could be bad. There might be caught up Creek without the paddle, as the saying goes. There's that Ravage we've always been waiting for, right onto 3, condensed there, and the BKB will have to go off. Mo's got to think about this. Is he going to drop the Primal Split? I don't know if it's going to be worth it. He used the BKB charge. Wasting BKB charge isn't a big deal on that hero, but he will now throw out the ultimate. Aloha Dance is going to try to TP. Will be able to get out of there. He's quite tanky. Bignum is going to take another fall here. And it's 3 heroes down. X Game winning this team fight convincingly. They're probably going to kill the Brood as well. He can maybe have a chance to blink out of this, but I think they're going to be able to catch him in time. They're just trying to kill the Brood.
Not quite on top of the...
They got him.
Yeah, he's done. That's a lot of gold, too. He was on a wicked sick. 1,000 gold for that Centaur.
He'll take it, man. Looking for another heart, I'm sure.
4-0 exchange, Jesus. Very,
yeah,
very
not
brutal.
good.
Well, do they already have an AC?
They got a tower.
AC.
They got a tower, but, you know, really pretty much not good enough right now. And yeah, the AC is probably going to be a good choice there for Starladder.
So Drow is going Butterfly. She feels safe enough that she just wants to accelerate her damage. And quite frankly, after the last couple of team fights, I don't blame her. You know, I was thinking about Satanic as a good option because, I mean, not only because you pointed it out, but because she was at the point where she was dealing so much damage, it didn't really matter that much, if she dealt more. But so she feels like she's so strong, all she wants to do is pump up that Precision Aura and pump up herself.
Pump up those Familiars, man.
Dude, it's legit.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I was thinking, you mentioned MKB, which also seemed good against the Brew, but if she gets caught in Drunken Haze, she's got the Manta to get out of that, so it's not...
Yeah.
That big of a deal. Sure, she still has to deal with the built-in Drunken Brawler evasion on the Brew, but again, what does that max out at? 25% dodge chance? It's not terrible. I mean, she will still
5%'s pretty good.
That's true.
Puts you at, what, 133% effective hit points against the Drow?
Yeah, and he'll ult up. You saw the Brewlings. The Brewlings at this point are almost a liability. Like, they die really fast. I think Drow Ranger was like 2-shotting the Fire and the Wind Pandas. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have Aghanim.
Panda, though, as they like to call it.
There's no Aghanim on him, so he doesn't have the Drunken Brawler coming out on any of his stuff, or like the Drunken Haze he can throw around.
Yeah, that's true. Only one before he can ult to get that off. But he does have the Shiva's Guard and a Vlad, so he goes for some utility items. I don't know if it's going to be enough to win them this game, though, as the Shiva's Guard is going to be the choice as opposed to the AC. So Shiva's Guard for the Centaur, and the Butterfly is finished up, so that added dexterity over to Mantis, that added agility hits for, what is that, 400 damage right now? No big deal.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. And of course, you know, let's see here. 36% of your 200 agility. So, I mean, well, more than 200 agility, but you know, we're talking like plus 80 damage when precision activates. They are
jump
going
on
to get
Stall Cat.
Stallcat?
Got the cheese, though. They're not going to be able to kill him in time. He pops the cheese. We'll turn around. He needs to get off this silence so he can stampede out of this, and he's going to stomp. He needs to throw the stampede. Will throw it out. The pipe is going to be thrown after the Ravage. Whatafaka keeping all of his team alive. Spectre about to go down here. She does have buyback available, though. Centaur the first one to drop. Yeah, Spec falls buybacks immediately. Now we'll throw out the Haunt, trying to clean up everybody, holding on desperately to their base here, and actually now winning the team fight post-buyback. Mantis, though, fighting alone. BKB's up, looking to kill Bignum. Bignum has his ultimate, and Mantis too much to handle right now. He should fall, maybe not. Equal comes back in, looks to help out. Mantis going to start just booking it away. BKB runs out, Bignum stuns, gets some nice crits. It's a double kill here for the support. Retreating up the hill, they find the gem on the deck and trying to TP away, but will be able to TP back to the base just barely next to that other gem.
So they got both gems back. That's something. So they can take some map control back. Maybe they can do a little bit of counter warding. The problem is that they have to spend so much time defending their own base with 2 lanes of Raxus down that it's gonna get kind of difficult for them to push out in the first place.
Spectre can do that though, right? And then 70 seconds she can join back up.
She can just haunt back in. That's true.
Not
also,
ideal,
if anyone gets boots to travel at any point in the near future, then they'll be able to also kind of engage in that. But yeah, at the moment you'll want the Spectre doing it probably.
Yeah,
she is also, you know, your best for knocking down towers. She's going for a Diffusal Blade. So she's going for, I mean, I guess the Purge will help slow stuff down, but in general, just a nice little thing to have on anyone who's generating a lot of illusions. Turned off her Radiance Aura?
Trying to keep...
Okay, turn it back on.
Creep Equilibrium? I don't know.
Radiance
Radiance looks weird when it's turned off.
It really does.
I was like, what is that?
I was like, what's bugging out? Oh, it's off.
Yeah, there you go. Something you can do. Pick up that Invis rune. In the Faith time, you might want to turn off your Radiance because it's going to be pretty obvious if you're scouting out the enemy team.
I'm so happy that AC isn't going to visibly show up on people if you're not visible anymore.
Yeah, that's
so AC
nice.
is no longer going to ruin ganks.
They did a couple things. Basically, all the auras did that, right? Like Shiva's Guard was the same. And now Chronosphere no longer lingers for half a second. That's going to be pretty nice as well.
Well, taking away the 1,000 flying vision, thank God.
Also ridiculous. I never even realized that, but it was a pretty big part of that ability.
Yeah. Well, it meant that
it's hard as a
caster,
caster, right? Because you always see
Yep.
everything, so like you don't notice that extra 1,000 range and how big it is in the team fight. But I have also played Void, and I didn't really notice it playing Void because I'm like, who am I gonna kill? I chronoed people, and it's not my team. I'm not being flamed.
Holy crap!
I did something right. We might win a game.
Dude, I've played with you. You've played with me. You know, neither of us wins games.
Dude, I don't know, man. I was getting pretty good. I was climbing that MMR ladder, and then I immediately lost 400, and I was like, not worth it, dude. I'm not climbing back. It's just I have to pay attention too much. I have to be bilingual. Like it's too hard.
Bilingual is not enough.
Yeah, it's not.
Bignum might be in a little bit of a vulnerable position here. They are throwing down a ward up there. Does he have one of the gems? I didn't see. Let's see here.
I think everyone threw gems on the deck. No, Velvapain's got a gem and Equal's got a gem. There's actually 4 right now, unless they got scooped up without me noticing. No, yeah, okay. There's 3 gems, because 1 is still on the base of Album Sheet, but xGame still had 1 remaining in their base after that team fight went wrong here in the bottom lane.
The amount of gems.
This is nothing, man. I think I saw like 5 one game. It was hilarious. It was Southeast Asia Dota game. I can't remember the teams that were playing, but it was utterly ridiculous.
Tides almost got refresher.
That's going to be pretty big. The double Ravage. Often underrated. Not so much anymore. I think people realize the power of it.
Oh, they're going to grab Equal real quick.
That's
if
the
they
gem.
can get the gem.
Right here.
Yeah, but he's going to just leap out. Oh no, there's the silence.
Slow, the Stampede. They got him. Gems on the deck. They don't really have anyone to pick it up. No one actually to pick it up. Scramble the courier, perhaps. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. The weird abomination of a courier is being scrambled.
Yeah, so they're gonna grab that, and they did burn the Stampede, so they've got, you know, another 40 seconds that they can kind of fight a little more freely. Oh, Stampede, you're so good. Remember when that used to be Great Fortitude, and then Great Fortitude just got rolled into his stat gain?
I vaguely,
it wasn't quite the
I played
entirety of
back then, but I was really garbage at Dota, and I don't know. Centaur was
Great Fortitude
funny.
was not that good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, clearly his change was good. I mean, Centaur was not even in captain's mode for a pretty long time.
Well, you remember back when Stampede stunned?
Yes, that's when it was utterly ridiculous. And not in captain's mode after the change.
Yeah,
Like
right.
a little bit of time. They added him in, and honestly, he's always been pretty present. He's never really fallen out of favor. A couple times, but still great.
Always quality stuff. Stalkat's sitting
So,
on the 20
farm game.
Probably just waiting for buybacks at this point on most heroes. Yeah, AS isn't going to want to engage again until Spectre has another buyback, because that was critical for them in the last fight.
50 seconds.
She also needs to farm a little bit more, but...
50 seconds, 50 gold, yes. Quite close, though. Buyback available for every single hero on the side of X Game, so they are, even if a team fight goes badly in their own territory, they're in no danger of losing this game right now. They'll still have their advantage. They might be set back if they have to force out those buybacks, but it's only Brewmaster for Album Sheet with the buyback currently. About 20 seconds, and, well, Spectre will have hers, but are those two buybacks going to be enough? I don't know. I mean, Bat doesn't have one. You know, Wraith King's got 2 lives, so that's not, you know, super vital. But Skywrath as well, no buyback there. That silence has been pretty big in these engagements.
Yeah, I think, honestly... See, here's the thing. Oh, we do have an engagement coming out over onto Equally. He's going to get dragged down to the low ground.
Oh, they got him anyways.
Alright, so they're getting the pickoffs, and with the pickoffs on Equal, it really kind of prevents X Game from wanting to push in. Especially because he just picked up a Halberd, which is a really big deal against the no BKB Spectre. Like, a really big deal.
Yeah.
Looks like Album Sheet wants to make something happen.
With just dispersion, though.
Yeah. But, I mean, at the same time, though, it's not like her auto attacks or anything. They're pretty significant. And she's got the Diffusal Blade now. So it's not purgeable by Manta. It's not purgeable by Diffusal either, right?
What is?
Halberd. It's completely unpurgeable.
I don't think so. Yeah, it's not magic.
I think it's only spell immunity that removes it.
Oh yes, that new term that I don't want to use.
Well, it's not technically spell immunity yet, but I gotta get used to it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just always it's like physical in my mind. You know, Halberd, you like just disarm somebody because you're really pro at sword fighting.
Well, but at the same time, BKB removes it. So
yeah, Dota, I don't know. Doesn't really make sense.
To
After
be
all,
fair, we are
balanced.
we're getting started with casting off the shackles of the Warcraft 3 engine in the next patch. Like the whole damage type change is pretty significant.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that deposit damage is going away because it was stupid and it seemed really buggy.
Yeah, pretty much. Universal damage is gone.
All right, they're looking for. They took out HP removal as well. That was the biggest thing with Warcraft.
Well, it didn't take out, but it's no longer a damage type. It's now used only for like Earn and
Spell
Armlet.
costs?
Or not Earn,
Spell
Soul
cost. Substitute mana.
Yeah.
Burning Spears. Phoenix abilities.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of those are called.
Yeah.
Icarus Dive. I lied. I know what one of them's called.
What is it? Icarus Dive, Fire Spirits, and
Missiles,
Sunray.
that's what I call
Caca.
spells. I don't play that hero. I'm not capitalist. I'm not filthy Phoenix picker.
Dude, don't mess with Freedom Bird.
Yeah, I guess that's his, having moved to Europe, that's his freedom bird. He just picks up the Phoenix. He runs around the office going caca. I can only hope that's what he does. Equal just wants to get picked off, man. He's been picked off like 3 times in a row right now, and they're just waiting for him. Where's Purple? Purple's up top.
Yeah, I mean, Vovapane is their primary pickoff, dude. There's going to be another Roche going down to X Game. This is the 4th Roche at this point. It's just nobody wants to engage.
Dude, I want
Engaging
cheese.
near
Give
the
me
opposing
cheese.
team's base is just brutal for either team at this point. Because you'll walk into a bunch of buybacks. You probably won't get anything significant. But at the same time, there's an exposed Rax down bottom. I mean, honestly, you have... Okay, work with me here. You have 5 buybacks on X Game, right?
Yeah, just
Why don't you
Sacrifice,
suicide
throw
5
bodies.
heroes, break that Rax, and laugh?
and then chill. I agree. I agree with that because we're approaching 51 minutes right now.
Well, you could use like Manta and Birds to force out the fortification, and then
Yeah, honestly, just the familiars would be enough, right? Like you see your ranged
Yeah.
barracks just melting. Like someone, right? Because everyone can press it. Like someone is going to be like, okay, I'm fortifying. I think that's best, and maybe it's not best for the team. I don't know how these
Well,
teams.
I mean, it has to be done though. If you just let the Birds kind of wail on it for a while, and yeah, see, the Birds are just hanging out bottom. And they
Yeah, of
know they
course.
have to commit a hero to stopping them. Bignum is just staying there.
Oh, they find equal again! This Marana just, gathering that intel, but it looks like they want to fight.
Oh, it's the
Tyson
Ravage!
going with the Ravage. Centaur jumps in, two-man stomp, finds Aloha Dance, gets him to about half HP. The pipe will go out now. Brewmaster here, BKB's up out of that silence from the Gust. And he will be able to Primal Split if he wants. He needs to do it soon before he gets brought down. I don't think he wants to use it this far outside of the base here. Batrider's already dead. Now he Primal Splits basically just to escape. Mantis is chasing down the poor Inquisitor, who does have a Ghost Scepter, lives for a little bit longer. And yeah, there's the Spectral Dagger that going out, trying to get that speed difference. And it's xGame that's get jumped on. Well, they pick off the Marana, but she buys back. And that's one of the buybacks we talked about using. Now trying to go into this bottom lane of Rax. Look at the Familiars just poking away there. Getting the range down to about half HP. Batrider forced to buy back here, so now going to be on cooldown. Only Brew and Wraith King with the buyback. Spectre needs to do a bit of farming. 200 gold away. Jumping on Stalkout right now, but he's got a Heart, Cheese, and a Shiva's Guard. They literally cannot kill him. I don't even know why they jump on him right there. And now we've got Mo going into this fight here. No Primal Split. Used it to just sort of run away. There's the Halberd going out onto Aloha Dance as they focus down Mantis. And let's remember that he uses BKB here, but he does have an Aegis. Honestly, should have saved the BKB, but whatever. I think it's still going to be enough. The Range Rex has already fallen. He turns to Vovapane. Vovapane will Ghost Scepter up. Fortify has been used. Haunt coming out. Is it going to be enough, though, to stop this? The Range Rax, or the Melee Rax just being focused, and it will fall. Drow Ranger dies, but that's what we talked about. Just throw bodies. You've got the Mega Creeps right now, and I don't think it's going to be enough to force Album Sheet to call the GG, because maybe they can march down middle lane and still take this game, or at least force some buybacks here from xGame, as they completely kill them all. And there you go. They threw the bodies, they got the Rax, and the Visage will buy back here.
I mean, they've got the buybacks. I don't think there's any threat to losing this game.
Yeah,
because
can Album Sheet even push out in a minute's time? Probably not.
No, I mean, the Megas have already started spawning. You have to be going before the Megas start spawning, really, to make this viable. Because otherwise you have to leave people down bottom. Looks like we have a double Haunt coming out for Spectre. They want to try and make this happen. They're not giving in yet. But it's gotta, I mean, the more time they let
Those
them...
are big items.
I don't know.
Desolator and Assault Cures and the Refresher on Aloha Dance. I mean, this is going to be the Hail Mary push down the middle lane right now.
I mean, that's all they have a chance to do, you know? Does Batrider have TP boots? No, he doesn't, so he's just not going to be in the fight. Because he's too busy stopping top lane.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's changed his mind. He's going to go in.
Who are they
Skywrath
leading?
in bottom lane.
Inquisitor's there. He doesn't have it
He
either.
can't- well, he can't kill
This is kinda
Megas
weird.
effectively.
This is like a half-assed push right now.
I mean, they have to, though. Like, I mean,
There's some boots.
maybe Aloha Dance could have stayed back and just... But at the same time, then they can't push through the middle lane. Like, they can't actually kill the creeps without him around.
Whoa, did your game just lag really hard? I thought my
No, I'm
computer
good.
crashed.
I'm
Get a
good.
mini heart attack
Yeah.
right there. Alright, they're going to walk in and they will just finish off that mid lane
They're
of Rax.
hitting
There's still 3
huts.
buybacks for xGame right now. And what are they going to do? They got the Familiars in the back line working on tier 4, so that's what xGame is up to sort of rat Dota without even putting heroes in danger. Now they're going to catch somebody out. It will be Vova. He's going to throw out that BKB. Does not have a TP on him, so he can't TP out of this. Let's keep in mind he's got the gem, but there's a lot of those, and Vova's dead. I mean, he's going to keep himself alive a little bit longer with the Ghost Scepter, but he falls to the Starfall, or Centaur, and another gem over to xGame. No buyback for 90 seconds, and Creep and Familiars just rushing down. It is Mega Creep, mind you. If anyone's just joining, Album Sheet has been putting up a ridiculously good fight. They had a Spectre who was doing incredibly well. Looked like it was going to win them the game, but xGame just got too strong with the Drow Ranger and just destroyed some towers and some racks.
Yeah, I mean, Mantis' positioning for most of the game has been quite exceptional. He's very, very rarely gotten caught out in any given fight, and that's the biggest thing with Drow, is if you don't get caught out, your damage output is completely ridiculous. It outdoes almost any hero in the game. Wanafaka wanted to go in for the Ravage. Didn't really matter.
At Lincoln's. The double refresh Haunt. They're just working on the throne here. Mantis will fall. The Familiar's still on top of it. Trying to do what they can. Aloha Dance with a double kill. The Ravage will go out. Another gem on the deck. And xGame throwing maybe too many bodies this time. They still got the Mega advantage right now. And Stallcat will also fall, so they lose again 4. But they take down that tier 4 tower. Now Album Sheets honestly have to keep 2 people back in the base at all times, or the throne will just die.
Well, Familiars are just too ridiculous to deal with this
Yeah,
throne.
another, what is it going to be? 70 seconds here for this.
TP boots on Spectre now. But where's she gonna TP to? It's not like she can get out anywhere. Does the rest of the team push out? I don't think they
she'll
deal the damage.
TP to here, where her creeps are for at least 2 seconds. Look how many creeps are spawning. I mean, it's not just mega creeps. It's mega creeps like an hour into the game, where like hundreds
Yeah.
of them spawn at a time. So pretty hard to deal with.
Yeah. They're not giving up, man. They want to hold this out. I mean, what do you think? What do you think the strategy is here? I mean, obviously, right now they're holding base, and they're thinking, okay, we're just gonna hold base and try to kind of last as long as possible. What items do you think they can actually go for that might make this possible? Do you think that they can get
Nothing.
like? I mean, you get like Rapier Battle Fury on your Wraith King, you know.
It doesn't
farm up
matter.
another,
Like even if they
1,000
kill
gold,
all of
10,000 gold.
xGame, like they'll never be able to just march down with 2 people and throw
Man,
them. It's
what
just
about
not gonna
Rapier?
happen.
What about Rapier?
I mean, Rapier's the
They
only
don't have a
one,
good
obviously,
Rapier
right?
carrier. That's the biggest problem, though.
Wraith
If they
King
had
is
like
the
a
best. What?
No.
Mail and yeah, Wraith King.
I
He's
no,
the
I
best.
okay. All this like, oh, he reincarnates,
is.
so he won't lose it. That's the dumbest reasoning ever. And yeah, familiars.
You're the
Yay!
dumbest reasoning.
They're not even popping precision aura for this.
Too many cooldown, dude.
Oh no, it's yeah, it's still on cooldown.
They'll clean them up too, and resummon. Okay, so they've been resummoned.
Yeah. And of
I
course,
hear
Reeves,
Wraith King
because he's
just
complete.
attacking things constantly. It's driving me
But,
crazy
like-
right now.
Dude, like the best Rapier characters are people who hit multiple
Gyro,
targets at once.
Medusa.
Gyro, Dusa, Luna. Luna is
So
kind of
no one in this game.
Gyro
so
and Dusa,
exactly, it's
mostly. Yeah.
not even good.
Yeah. But at the same time, like that's your only option, right? Is getting that much damage.
Or Abyssal or something, yeah.
Abyssal is not Rapier. That's 100 damage.
No, it's
100
not.
and 300 are two very different
Most
things.
items aren't Rapier. In fact, only Rapier is Rapier.
Oh god.
Big. I can't. This is like hilarious. Just watching Wraith King smack things.
Death is his bitch.
Pretty much. Killed a lot of people today.
She has.
Actually, who's killed the most people today? Spectre. 496 people slain.
R.I.P. creeps.
Still
Oh, they're gonna go
lose.
in. They're gonna. Oh, they got Stallcat. They burned the Stampede. They're going for something big. Okay, Bignum's coming in with a stun. The Shivas goes out. Aloha Dance is here for the damage. It looks like, though, the rest of xGame might just want to commit down bottom lane. The only one stopping them is Inquisitor. They have to TP back. They have the Haunt available onto Spectre. TP back coming out from Bignum. And yeah, Equal and Wadafaka just want to push in. Oh, 4,300. Yo, what was on that courier? Oh, the
man.
Inquisitor's gonna go down. Bignum and Axmo are still there. Refresh got out for that Ravage. The second one goes out. Gonna catch everybody. He's just gonna TP out. He just, oh no, it's gonna get canceled. So they're gonna kill Wadafaka.
It was Satanic.
So they didn't actually lose anything on that. Okay, that throne is regenning right now. It's at higher life than it was a couple minutes ago because they didn't get any extra damage on it right
They
there.
do regen. That is the thing that they do.
That is, yeah. But my point is, like, it hasn't lost any life in the past couple of minutes, so it is actually ticking slowly upwards. They think they can do this, obviously. I mean, you and I don't sound like we have a lot of faith, but man.
I'm also really
But I mean,
hungry.
Spectre.
So,
Well,
you
there's
know.
another game right after this. Have
I
fun.
know, there's 2 more. I've
You
seen a
don't
lot
get
of
to eat-
cheese
you don't get
gobbled
to
up
eat
today,
anything.
and it's making me hungrier and hungrier. Centaur, though, is pretty stuffed.
Looks like Reeves
The bastard.
is gonna get targeted down right here. They're just trying to get the Grave Chill. Grave Chill too good. Dagger's coming out. This is a really big commitment from Aloha Dance and Vovapane. If they go too far and lose these heroes, they might be in a lot of danger. Speaking of
Who's
losing
buyback
heroes,
for Aloha
Vovapane.
Dance? Vovapane, no buybacks.
Yeah, Vovapane just used his, right?
It'll be like 400 gold away if he dies. And
No. He just
Aloha
doesn't have the gold.
is going down.
Yeah, he's just
He
done.
stuns, chaining him up perfectly.
800
drop
gold.
him. Still
So-
holding on, though.
Checking the
Thankfully.
Roshan. Still about to... God, they're just waiting for a Roshan.
Album Sheet was
They have
quickly
mega
becoming one of my
creeps.
favorite teams, but now they're quickly becoming my least favorite team
They
right
have
now.
mega creeps, and they're waiting for a Roshan. Dude, I'm more mad at X Game. They won't push.
I mean, whatever. It's close, right? They know that Spec has buyback, or she never would have been there. Or
Yeah.
at least that's what you got to assume, right?
Yeah, but like, why wouldn't you be forcing the buyback right now? Because between the
That's
Brew
true.
and the Wraith King, you can at least, you know, you can at the very least hold off the mega creeps just thanks to the 2 life leech auras you guys are putting out. So, I don't know, man.
There it is. They got
Hey.
the Roche. Stallcat. He can solo it. I think everyone in this game can pretty much solo Roche right now. At least for X game. I don't know if Skywrath would be up to it. Oh, we got more important things going on though. Inquisitor will pick. No, not really. Equal just dies again. We've seen that a lot this game.
Tactical
so-
feat.
Yeah, honestly, he's just gathering some intel, man. It's like that scout.
Radiant's ancient
Oh, God.
is under attack.
Yes, I
it's
try to
gonna
make
hit
TF2
like
references
simple.
for you.
Don't. That game is not good.
Dang.
So
Let's wait for TF3, man.
it's good once, dude. I'm waiting for Half-Life 3. Don't even talk to me.
It's
Valve
not
can't
worth
count
it,
to
man.
3. We all know.
Yeah, they don't have any thirds, right? Portal, maybe.
Well, I mean,
will
I
be
guess
the
they have
first.
Necronomicon 3, but I guess
Necro
Ice
3?
Frog
So, yeah,
Ice
we
Frog
know that
taught
they
them-
know.
Ice Frog did it. Ice Frog can count to 3, but Gabe Newell can't.
No, he cannot.
I mean, we got the third international. I don't know how
Yeah,
we organized that.
there was TI3. I'm surprised
I'm surprised we didn't skip right to TI4. Maybe TI2.
So it's actually TI4 that was the best, and TI5 that nobody liked. Is what you're telling me.
Dude, it was TI2 episode 1 and TI2 episode 2.
That would have been hilarious if that's what TI3 was.
Spectre back up, she
TI2
didn't have to
episode
buy back,
1.
right? Yeah, she didn't have to buy back, although now she doesn't have the gold.
Tallcat in some trouble. Do you think Vovapane would realize that grabbing the centaur that's very tanky, stacked with items and a cheese, hasn't worked yet, and it probably is never going to work?
He's out. They're going in now that they have the Aegis back on Drow.
End the game,
Still
X-Game.
stack. Oh, Big Num, you're gonna
Num?
lose the multi.
Yeah, it's gonna be not that worthwhile. There's only like one enemy here. It's Stallcat. Please, someone be killing the throne. No one is killing the throne. The familiars go in. Precision auras pop. They've got to fortify. They will use the fortify now. Everyone's scurrying down to try to protect this, chasing off Reeves. He's been the focus of a lot of aggression, that poor Visage here. Mantis has BK beat up. His aura's being disabled. He's got an Aegis that's game. Finally, we're going to witness the end of this game. And only 2 people getting glorious victory. That seems unfair when the game goes this long. It was quite glorious indeed. So, X-Game. So I guess both teams with the possibility for the upset. I mean, X-Game upsets, Album Sheet upsets Empire, and then X-Game with the slight upset here onto Album Sheet. So, it's been quite a day so far. It slowed down a little bit for this game, but
Yeah, I mean it was solid. Most